and build a top level uh, business, a top level script which kind of closely approximates my use cases. So how does all this thing fit in together, right? The way this whole thing fits together is let's start working from the right bottom, right? The light blue colored box is your actual test asset, right? Let's say if you're doing automation, you will have an RTW test. If you're not doing automation, that portion, the light blue portion, will not be there, right? Because you will not have any asset that you want to execute. There is no Java class that you want to execute. That points to a test script, and then the test script belongs is associated to a keyword, right? And then it is added to a manual script, right? Don't get too confused with the manual script acronym, right? Because the top level script is always a manually composed script, because at that point we really don't care about if it's an automation script or a manual script. The high level business flow script is a manually composed script. And for all you know, for the people who are in a position to influence how teams work with each other, you could have the subject matter expert come and create the domain specific framework using keywords. He can create empty keywords and start putting together using just drag and drop, like we saw, high level test cases, right? So the SME would be happy to participate in the QA process, versus earlier he would not know the tools we use and then the technologies we use. Now for him it's just a matter of drag and drop and create a flow which he can understand in English, and then say, yep, this is exactly what I want. And then you could maybe take a PDF printout out of it and email it to your end client and say, sir, this is what we are testing, please approve. Because in user acceptance testing, usually that is the problem you face, is what is the authoritative document which everybody can agree on. It cannot be a Java file, right? It cannot be a use case too, because at the end of the day, somebody has to show the traceability on this Java file is actually testing that use case, and what is the flow you are taking to test that use case. Right. So that's pretty much what I wanted to take you guys through. We can look quickly also at the two technologies that we just saw. The two technologies are the mobile testing capability and the web testing capability. Now this is the mobile testing capability. This is the mobile script, which can run on an Android, either a physical device, or it can run on a physical device, or it can run on an emulator, right? You see, click edit test, enter Bangalore Taj, click on hyperlink. Now, this is a Java file which would run on the web, right? So the actual test asset that's running on the web browser and then the one running on the mobile app are completely different. But we were able to tie it all together all the way up there and make some sense out of it. So that's pretty much what I wanted to walk you guys through. Moderator, I think we can take questions now.
Thank you so much, Ajay, for the presentation. Attendees request you all to start sending in questions for Ajay. And Ajay, I have already shared a couple of questions to you. You can start off answering them.
Sure, thank you very much. Moderate, I cannot see the questions in the chat window.
Ajay, if you look at the questions box on your control panel.
Oh, sorry about that.
Not a problem.
All right. The first question is which version of RQM this is supported in. This is supported in 4.03 version of RQM, which is the multi-channel support, but the keyword support has been there since RQM 1.0. The next question is each channel has a does each channel have a specific script defined, meaning I have to write 2 scripts when I have 2 channels? The answer to that question depends on what are the technologies you are using to test the actual channel. If typically cross portability across channels, especially when the channel is as varied as a web browser and a mobile app, is very low. There are various things out there in research phases where people are looking to convert scripts, if that's what you're looking to see if can I just port my scripts that are written for the web. Those technologies are a little hard to come by, and so the short answer to that would be yes. Most of the cases, 80% of the cases, you're actually looking to use the same script, unless you have a script for let's say Firefox on a Windows PC, and you want to run that on an iPad running Firefox. That could run there.
Ajay, this is a small request. If you could also mention the sender's name, whosoever is asking the question, followed by the answer,
yes.
please. Yeah.
Yes. So the first 2 questions are asked by Shashank B. Prashant Naik wants to know, is this restricted to web-based applications only? No, it's not restricted to web-based applications only, Prashant. For example, using RFT, you could record an automation script even for Power Builder or even a green screen. So it purely depends on what the practitioner tool you're using for authoring the script. But the high-level multi-channel functionality, you can always use irrespective of the underlying technology. So I could create a new channel. Let's assume you have a Windows Win32 application built using Power Builder. I could create a new channel saying Windows Desktop, right? And put all the scripts that are specific to the Win32 application, the thick client, which was built using Power Builder.
Ajay, I believe Shashank. I'm sorry to interrupt. Yes. I believe Shashank B again has a follow-up question. So since you took up his first question, if you could just follow up. I think he wanted to make some changes.
Oh, okay. It's at the down of the list. Okay. So Shashank has a follow-on. The question is something different. For mobile, I use Selenium, and for web, I use QTP. Okay. So Shashank has a follow-on question. It's like, for mobile, I'm using Selenium, and for web, I use QTP. How do I handle this situation, right? So Shashank, right? I'm assuming your mobile app and your web app are trying to serve the same business functionality to the end user. Now, if you have used QTP to record web functionality of, let's just take the TripAdvisor, right? Of searching a hotel on TripAdvisor using QTP on the browser, and then you would be using for mobile, you're using Selenium. So you now are talking about 2 different scripts, right? One is a Selenium script, another is a QTP script. Now you can take those 2 scripts, create an RQM script pointing to those 2, right? and then attach that to the same keyword which says search hotel. And then when you pick at runtime the web channel, the QTP script will get executed. But if you select the mobile channel, the Selenium script will get executed. Shashank has a follow-on question. How does the keyword feature different from business process testing in Quality Center? I have not seen Quality Center. I'm in the RQM product development, so I've not seen. I'm not a practitioner myself, so I will have to defer that answer to a web search or something. So because I don't know much about Quality Center at all. Let's, I guess, go back up. So we answered Prashant Naik's question. Ambika wants to know how well traceability can be done using this. So traceability in terms of which channel was this executed, you can see that in the results, right? In the results, you can filter by channels, or you can run a report saying, give me all the tests, the passing and failure of the test for the web channel or for the mobile channel. Or I can say, for this particular test case, give me all the results segregated or grouped by the channels. So for the same test case, now I can tell that there were 20% failure on the web channel, and then there is 10% failure on the mobile channel. And then of course traceability to requirements and traceability to defects and work items is done at the CLM level, right? So I can take the test case and associate the test case to a requirement in a requirement management product, and I can associate that to a plan item in a planning product, right? So this traceability linking happens using OSLC. So if you're using an all IBM stack, you can use RTC, RRC, and RQM. But then you could be using Jira for RM. You could be using Bugzilla for quality management, for bug tracking, or you could be using HPQC for bug tracking. So you could do that level of traceability. Then you can go and say, for the web channel, tell me what all are the defects that have been identified for this test case. That's the typical traceability that is expected. That's the traceability that people want to ask, so that they can make a decision whether we ship this or not ship this. If it's a non-critical feature with a little bit of a higher defect rate, somebody may make a call saying, it's okay, let's ship it. So I hope that answers your question, Ambika. Prashant Naik wants to know, how can I use this on embedded systems? Now, embedded systems, for example, typically